Boeke in Bochum. Now, in Eckhart's room, Greg unpacks a little bit about his friendship with the enigmatic new student at Lawson College. Now, while reminiscing and exploring the desolate room, Greg sees a book titled Depression on Eckhart's bookshelf, and his heart starts racing, thinking back to every single interaction he has ever had with him to look for signs that his friend might not have been okay at all. And Greg considers how Eckhart's true nature is only apparent after a few interactions, and how his first impression of Eckhart was not the best. Greg feels guilty about nearly becoming someone who would have made Eckhart's time at Lawson difficult, just because he's new to the school. So Greg has a bit of a conscience. Now Greg thinks about how Eckhart is an intense guy. Yeah, he's a bit of a misfit, doesn't really fit in the way Greg does, being ever so popular, being head boy, being the wing, first team rugby. Eckhart isn't though. So Greg thinks about how Eckhart is an intense guy, one who seems to know a lot about things that other people do not, such as quantum computing. Eckhart is an avid reader and someone who believes in amassing knowledge because gaining knowledge costs nothing but time. Okay, that's a very interesting mentality. Now, unsure about Eckhart's whereabouts, Greg leaves the room and heads over to his first class of the day, English, with Mr. Willem Wickelspies. Nice name. He's late, but too worried about Eckhart to care. Now, in mathematics class, with Mr. Bill Eden, also known as Bochum amongst the students, Eckhart's absence is noticed, and Bochum goes to the faculty office to inquire about his whereabouts because this has happened with students in the past. So Eckhart's absence now seems to be troubling the body, or the school body. And while the teacher is gone, Greg's classmates ensure that chaos ensues, which Greg knows that he will be berated for, allowing it to continue unabated. But he's too preoccupied with Eckhart. Greg and Planck have a conversation where Planck tries to come up with a reasonable explanation for Eckhart's absence, involving Eckhart's parents and a possible death in his family, which temporarily soothes Greg's unsettled mind. However, Greg later remembers that Eckhart left his cell phone in a suitcase and his laptop on his desk. So this is a very alarming situation for Greg. Greg feels very unsettled, and he's thinking that the absolute worst has happened to his friend Eckhart.